Alrighty. Let me just make sure we're recording. We're looking good. Okay, great. What's going on, Flame Hard Dinos? Fucking Flame Hard Academy. So this is one of the VODs you guys sent me, and I believe judging from this timeline, this looks like an L bozo for you guys. But you start off pretty well, and you wanted some feedback on this VOD, so here I am to give it to you. So step one, whenever I look at a VOD for a team, it's a little bit different than solo queue. In solo queue, we kind of just hyper dial in on, I don't really care what the rest of your team does or how your team should function. I care more about how you specifically fit in to that, or what's best for you as an individual. But when we look at a team, we now start to have to understand how all of our champions want to function, what our game plan is, and then most importantly, or I guess also importantly, how does the enemy team comp want to function? So I usually do that in the form of looking to head-to-head matchups. So I can just tell you right now, the Renekton and Cassante matchup is Renekton favored. Cassante, your goal this game is to hold on for dear life, because we have some pretty good synergy later into the game with the Sejuani Cassante combo. Can really just, once Cassante goes all out, they can pretty much lock down any target. Really easy to play the game from there. But Sejuani should probably not look to play towards this matchup too hard early. Renekton can just turn it a little bit too easily if he plays well, especially 2v2 if Poppy's there. Jungle, both champions are low econ utility junglers. They just kind of want to farm up until, you know, like they're full clear and then look to make plays happen around the map. Hui is just Lux 2.0. Both champions struggle really hard with getting push until level 6. For Hui, it's until like chapter just because of mana issues. And for Lux, it's level 6 because Lux's wave clear combo is just E and R the wave. Oh, sorry, E and then R the wave. Wrong side. Hui has a little bit easier time clearing the wave when it comes to like the abilities used. It's just like a two ability combo, but it's a little bit more dangerous. Hui has to get closer to the lane. Lux can clear it from orbit. Where it kind of gets interesting is this bot lane. So when you have double range into melee, a lot of the time you have the ability to pressure hard early levels. So what you want to have happen here is, well, kind of exactly what we see going on right now. We want to get to lane first, take control of these brushes, and when we have to acknowledge when Nautilus and Samira are good. Level 1, these champions don't really do anything. Level 2, it can be a little bit hit or miss. Level 3, these guys kind of operate like a Tristana lane, right? So level 1, they're kind of just looking to do nothing. They want to preserve HP, let the wave push, and hopefully the enemy, you guys, can't crash on wave 3 and let it bounce. So that way they can safely farm, get XP. Maybe they'll go down like a couple minions worth of CS, but then when the wave comes out, they'll be full HP and they'll look to all in and trade you. You want to use these first couple waves to do, you can do a couple of things. You can get contest for first 3 minions on the wave and then body them off the lane. You have a lot of poke, you have a lot of disengage, so Nautilus can't play the game. Or you can wave 3 crash into reset for like a cull or a longsword or something to continue the pressure. Or you can push and just look to harass and look to kill if you guys can track Poppy early game. Junglers this game, Sejuani, you're pretty much just there to bail people out. For example, if Cassante ever gets stuck in a point where his wave's here, you can bail him out top lane, but you're never really looking to fight 2v2 top. Mid lane, it's the same thing. It's kind of like Lux is immobile, but so is Hui. So if there's a gank op, like that's fine. But what I'm really probably looking for here is I know that these guys, level 2 or level 3, want to make something happen. So if your bot lane can get the wave in and get it bouncing, they'll be level 3. Both bot lanes will be level 3. Sejuani will be on the bottom side of the map finishing Scuttle Crab at that time. That'll be a cool time to gank. And if not, that's totally fine. I think this team's also totally great with playing for team fights. This team is too. You know, you have Nautilus, Samira, like Lux. But here we have like a lot of team fight as well. So in my mind, that's how both teams want to play the game. And now we kind of have to look at how teams want to, or like what your job is in the team fight. So when I look at a team like this, you've got like, you know, Bruiser, we've got Tank, we've got long range borderline artillery mage. And the scariest part of this comp, there's 2 really scary parts to this comp. It's Renekton and Samira. I say Renekton because normally if Renekton's left unchecked, he's a real like pain in the ass to deal with. Luckily, we've got a lot of range on this comp to deal and kite Renekton. The issue here is if we use too much of our tools for the Renekton, Samira could potentially run away with the fight, and vice versa. If we use too much on Samira, Renekton's left unchecked, and then we have a problem here. So we're going to introduce a concept called marking. This is like usually used when you're dealing with assassins. So what you want to do is you're going to assign somebody on the team. Like, okay, in team fights, it's like, I don't know, like it's Sejuani's job to mark Samira. And what it means by marking is you're going to find Samira in the fight. Let's say Samira is right here, and we're playing for Dragon. So then Sej is going to sit here in line with Samira and then the rest of the team. So Samira, to get in, has to go through Sej or has to use abilities or path around or do something. And Sejuani will save an ability of her kit. In this case, it's probably going to be Q. You're probably not going to R because Samira can win wallet. And that'll be Sejuani's ability that she saves to interrupt Samira so she can never go all out in a fight. You'll find this happens a lot when people in solo queue, for example, if you're into a Katarina or a Master Yi potentially, where everybody will burn all their CC at once, and then they'll just full channel their ults or auto attack you to death. So just say it before a fight happens. It doesn't have to be like Sejuani the entire game, just holds her Q the entire game to stop the Samira. But before a fight happens, Sejuani can say, all right, I'm going to mark Samira this fight. So now everybody else knows that Sejuani is going to hold Q. And for whatever reason, if Sejuani needs to use Q, it's now Sejuani's job to call that out so someone else can mark the Samira. And then besides that, it should be pretty easy. We should be playing for dragons this game, in my opinion. Because we lose top lane early, it's going to be a little bit difficult to get prio for grubs. But bot lane gets pushed naturally. So what I want to see is dragon pressure early. Start stacking these dragons, running away with the game, and let's see how this goes. So we're pathing top to bot. We get vision of Poppy. So Poppy is going to 3 camp into top or 3 camp into mid potentially. There's the push losing, and now look at this. We got the push bot lane as foretold. Beautiful. Good use of your timer here to get vision down. Another thing you can know is this spawns at a random time between like, I think it's 2:55 and like 3 something. It spawns, I'll just say it spawns around 3 minutes every single game right here. So if you ever warded this timer, you can look to hit this because it gives you vision. It takes, like, they have no reason to be in lane here unless they want to catch the wave super high and then keep pressure. In my opinion, this ward does not give enough information for them to continue pressuring high here. There's a chance that Poppy could be going like this. There's a chance Poppy could be already like in lane here. All Nautilus needs to do is look for a hook. So I'm a bigger fan of hitting this and then finding out exactly, okay, is Poppy resetting? Is Poppy in the top side? What's going on? Because there's not really anything left to do at this point in time. So you like use your turns wisely. We just walk up, do nothing. It's not the end of the world. But then Nautilus, look, goes and hits that and clears our ward. So now we're like, we had a turn to do something. And because we took our turn, the enemy naturally gets a response, clears our vision. And now look, the goal of vision, by the way, how you determine what like if a ward is good or not, is does your ward get value that you would not have otherwise. I guess that's like a really basic definition of a good ward here, but we had this warded initially. We had the chance to hit this. We saw it. We didn't. So now we had to burn another ward to get the same info that we already had. It would not have been anywhere close to running out. But look, we have pressure. Also, we're never looking to gank here. The wave's too close. Poppy's never doing anything here. Looking good. Both mid laners not too hot on the wave manipulation. Well, because Lux went World Atlas first item. Sorry? I'm pretty sure this Lux might be trolling. Because now it just means she gets less minion or less gold for last hits. She actually just griefed herself. And they lose this game though. That's the funny. Okay. I don't know what happened here. But that was a bit of a movie. The fact that Lux was allowed to reset like that in plain sight. Here, don't do anything crazy. You guys have to remember, mage players, support players are guilty of this too, but you have auto attacks. Not everything has to be a spell cast. And right now, like, the damage you're doing isn't going to be meaningful, but just auto attack them, man. You're in melee range. Wait until 14 years later. Uh-oh. We ran into our first problem. Okay, we have to find out. We have to diagnose what happened here. So here we are. Very good HP situation. And Sejuani's on the bot side of the map. Let's check items. Boots, Ruby Crystal. Okay. Almost 2 full waves of CS up on Varus as foretold. And here we go. And we want to play for Dragon. Okay, problem here. 2 problems here. I'll pause for 5 seconds to see if you guys can figure it out. We have 2 problems. Maybe even 3 problems. Problem 1, this wave is not crashed. These guys could technically move right now and they would lose nothing. Samira and Nautilus. That's problem 1. Problem 2 is look at Hui. Remember Lux just reset? Hui is still in lane here with 0 mana. Dragon isn't Dragon is not even spawned yet. So we have to make sure, like in theory, I love this. We're all here together. We tried to push the lane. We tried to be here right on time, but we didn't really, what's the word? We didn't do it with intention. We didn't follow through here. And now we kind of get pinched. This is kind of like what happens if you watch the pros too much and you see what they do and you don't actually put into thought and like how it works. Because now look, like sure, they lose a wave here, but we lose the fight and the dragon. Wow. Varus gets like a return frag here, which is great. But now Lux gets a double kill after buying fucking World Atlas first item and is now relevant in the game. Now has just as much gold as Hui. And this is a combination play. This is a combination of Hui, not like Trunks here, not resetting in time, and you guys not getting your wave in bot lane. This is a combo kill. Sejuani was there perfectly on time as he needed to be. Remember, guys, in competitive, this is not the same thing as solo queue. A lot of the times, you know the objective's coming up. Okay, Dragon always spawns at 5 minutes. These Void Grubs always spawn at 6 minutes until they patch it and change the time again, whatever. But a lot of the times, you're going to have to take back timings where you're not going to be at the perfect item spike you want to be. And that's okay because it's not about you as much as it is about the team. So you're like, but I don't want it back yet. I don't have my last chapter. Hey, should have last hit better, dumbass. I don't know what to tell you. So Hui needs to be reset and on the map at 5 minutes. End of story. If the play is to play Dragon, we have to match TPs as well with Lux. Bot lane, you have to get your wave in. And honestly, if we go back here, like this is level 4 Sejuani. Sejuani can just do this. If Varus and Janna keep pressure up here, you guys can stay for another wave. And then if Sejuani needs help, you can rotate. You don't have to rotate now. Like, once again, like, I like the look. It's just a little bit needless. So we're going to skip ahead, watch a little bit more. I do want to say Renekton is not nearly as far ahead as he should be in this matchup. Cassante, wave's been in a good spot. Tower's basic, like, literally untouched completely. This wave's going to slow out. And here, this is good. We don't really want to look to fight here too much. But now we can get, like, a good reset. Renekton fucks up. Oh, Cassante. It's all right. Damn. And he's going to hold the wave here. This is beautiful. Well played. And this is a situation where Sejuani's on the top of the map. Okay, it looks like Renekton's not going for a dive. But here, potentially, if like we see like Lux start fogging topside or Renekton playing super aggressively, like maybe Cassante needs to call for a hover here. But that's just not the case. And there's no way we ever fight for this, by the way. And that's okay. We don't need to fight for this. Renekton's just building Fury. He's never actually going to take the Scuttle. This is good. But now Samir has a BF sword and Varus went plated steel caps first item. If my Varus is ever up in gold and he goes plated steel caps first item. Oh no. Okay. So bot lane hits level 6 first here. Whenever I'm in lane like this, I always check my own XP bars. These guys are pretty low on XP, but I think it's because they missed like a full wave earlier at the dragon fight. Remember, they half crashed the wave, and the wave slow pushed back out, so they missed a lot of minions. Mid laners hit 6 on the 5-minute wave. Bot laners hit 6 later. Top laners hit 6 also on that 5-minute wave. So here we are at this point, 8 minutes into the game. The wave's coming in. the most dangerous part of this lane is coming up here in a second. We talked about like levels like 2 and 3 are they're not even good for Nautilus and Samira. It's just when they can start playing the game. The most difficult part of this lane is level 6, and they're going to hit level 6 even if it's not on this minion. It's probably going to be on this wave, and the wave's coming in. Because the wave's coming in, what's going to happen? Well, it's going to come out. So now we look at, okay, we have vision bot side, we have wards available. What else do we need to use our vision for that's meaningful right now? We have this wonderful control ward right here. This is giving us a lot of safety in the moment, but also the wave comes in, the wave comes out. What scenario can you see happen? I can potentially see a Nautilus here. I can potentially see a Poppy lane ganking. I can see something. A good habit that I like to do is if I know I'm getting pushed in, before they get control of this brush, I'll just drop a ward in here. And now maybe they control ward it or maybe they sweep it. But a lot of the times in lower elos, they just won't. And now it'll make you play on the bounce so much safer because, okay, wave hits tower, boom, 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 comes out. You see them playing in the bush, so now you can hug top side of the lane and now you're safe. So, looks good. Like, I'm a little bit, like, I'm really fucking worried here. Oh, and now it's too late, right? If we ward this now, they ping it. Or now they maybe, like, they see you do it. They don't even have a control ward. It still might be fine. I don't know. Sometimes people just don't react in time. But standing right here is crazy, by the way. You just can't do that. If Nautilus throws hook, it's really fucking dangerous. Okay, we see Samira hit level 6. And now we just have to show respect. The wave's coming in. We missed our window to ward. We just can't walk up now. Wow. And just like that, Janna has to reset. It's not even like a maybe. Janna has to reset. What a good gank timing from Sejuani too. If Janna didn't stand out in the open and get hooked for no reason and lose all her HP, Sejuani's here at a great time. We could be collapsing on Not right now. Oh, looking good. Very good. Good return kill. That's a kill that shouldn't have happened. Damn. So, I'm not trying to be that guy, but this is what happened when you fight somebody with 1,600 gold in your inventory as Cassante. Once again, like, this fight would have gone significantly better for Cassante if he had the chance to reset here. Like, steel caps here, or, dude, even like a Iceborne component, or just a shit ton of armor. Feels so good. So remember, wait for your spikes. Your spikes are super, 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 super important in matchups like these. Because your goal as Cassante is, shit, dude, Renekton, he's a resourceless champion. He doesn't use mana. He's just gated by his ability cooldowns. So champions like Cassante who literally use mana and who just scale with resistances, you don't have many resistances early, and you still don't have resistances, even though it is 9 minutes into the game, because you haven't spent your gold on anything. And genuinely, mid lane, you're doing great. You're up 20 CS. You're up like a full level pretty much. Oh no. Oh, did we kill Nautilus already? Okay. So this is like a thing. Like, we see Poppy. We see Poppy. Here we go. And now we see Poppy go like this. Guess what? We don't have a ward available. So if we're going to play for this, we have to be very fucking careful on the bounce. But here we are. Wave's dead. Once this wave is dead, if Lux just walks away, there's nothing Hui can do here. Hui, you've pushed the wave here. You've gotten what's called a timer. And it's called a timer because it's time you have to do whatever the fuck you want. And you have basically unlimited choices on what to do during this timer, right? You can reset right now, because like the next wave's here. You have until the next wave reaches your lane to do something. You can recall, you can walk to get vision, you can look to harass, you can look to roam, You can walk in a circle. And no choice here is, like, in a bubble, no choice here is strictly bad because you're not losing anything, right? There's no minions for you to last hit. But I think here there's a strictly worse choice that you can make knowing that you just saw Poppy in your bot side jungle. And that would be to push out for no reason for a trade when you can just chill the fuck out until we see Poppy again or until you get vision up again. Because you don't have a ward still. And you're acting like you can do something. And now you're dead. Well played for them. Good flash from you, but once again, you flashed there for basically zero reason, and you should die here in a second. Okay. Wow, we're just fighting up a storm over here. Okay, and now I'm looking here. We got second drag spawning in 30 seconds, and I'm seeing, like, okay. What do we want to play for? Do we want to play for second drag? Do we want to play for first drag? I'm looking at item spikes. Who's on their first item? Oh, Hui's on his first item. He's fucking huge. So if we want to fight, I want to fight around Hui. And, you know, like, Varus isn't bad. Varus has steel caps and almost a Bork here. We're a little bit off of a Bork, but 2 kills, not bad. 30 CS up on Samira. Samira's not quite at that first item yet. This is looking good. Hui's got a timer, using the timer well. Hui is using the timer well. Good. But, like, once again, right? If we have vision here, if Hui is able to push and roam, a super important thing that we can do is push, keep the pressure bot side. Don't be tower diving them or being an idiot, but you have this vision. If you keep the pressure up, they can't rotate. So remember when I talked about timers? So you can use a timer. If you use a timer, like if you use your timer to do something, and by doing something, I mean like if you use it to recall, or if you use it to roam, or if you use it to ward, or do something that's not moving up to take space in the lane, the enemy now can take their turn. It makes sense, right? Okay, so for example, if I push the wave and then I move like this, I'm not there to push this next wave. So now the enemy, all they have to do is finish clearing that wave that I pushed, and now they can roam. The downside of this is they can roam second. So they're always going to be slower in this situation, unless they just want to give up a wave for free and die. But here, they've cleared the wave, and now they can roam without any penalty whatsoever. I wonder if they will, or if they're just going to stay bot. That's totally fine. But when we have perfect vision like this, by staying here for so long, what ends up happening is they can push this next wave, and now we are moving second. Now we have to come back and catch this when there's not really a reason to do that because we're strong. We have such good vision. We have push everywhere. Now look, uh-oh, here we are. We still end up holding it, which is great. Janna holds the wave. Looks good. And now they should lose a full minion wave here. Good wards, so like we see them in the brush. Wow, really great Janna bait here. I mean, you're never killing the Samira here, guys. Oh my god. Oh my god, somebody needs to sign Janna right now. Wow. What fucking good play from Janna. Holy shit. Like, amazing play from everybody. I was like, dude, there's no way Samira dies here. But Samira died there. That was beautiful. Really fucking well played. Okay, and here at this moment, okay, good. I was going to say, like, you can stay for this one plating, and that's fine, but I really want you to reset. Bro, you walked all the way here only to recall not in the brush. I fucking hate you. But that's fine. Like, when you have this much gold, we have to remember, getting a plate is always like, yeah, I think it's plus 125 gold right now. It's nice to get a plate because it gives you 125 gold. But we remember when we think about turns and timers, right? So if we were going to reset here and we had Bork no matter what, and we we stay longer on the map to give us 125 gold. But if that now means we are late to a fight or late to collecting a wave or late to some other thing that we need to be on the map for, I don't think it's worth it anymore just to trade that losing state of like map state for 125 gold. The only time I can think it's like really worth is if you know, like the death timers are really, really long and there's not really anything else to do on the map. Oh, we might have the swag disease here. That was a good time to fight too, because it's when Casante's like kind of strong. This is good. We get Hui a free reset here. This is good. Oh god, the Renekton incident. So it looks like we want to be fighting for Rift Herald. Here's the problem. Varus has all our kills, so Varus needs to be at this fight. We need to have what's known as like a lane swap. We need to swap Varus out here if the play is Rift Herald, because what's going to happen is Renekton is very strong right now. He's on his first item. Nice. Lux is dead. Something to consider in situations like these, by the way, is Casante can use his HP bar as a resource. What I mean by this, he can fight Renekton, like look to combo Renekton, potentially even ult Renekton and extend the trade. And then, sure, Renekton is going to win the trade because he has Boar. Casante is going to lose the trade because he's still not at one completed item. That's fine, but you get Renekton to half HP. Maybe you burn his flash. Maybe you burn his R. And now you just reset. Bot lane goes top lane. Boom, boom, boom. Casante goes bot lane. And now, great. Sure, Casante is going to be laning into, you know, Samira Nautilus, but I don't think Samira and Nautilus are going to be killing Casante underneath the tower. And this is going to put your AD carry in a really great position. Oh god, we have the swag disease again. This is going to put our AD carry in a great position to be here for the fight, because the worst case scenario here is Renekton builds Fury off of Casante, comes in here and just pentakills our whole team, because we don't have a lot of damage right now. Sejuani sitting on 1,500 gold. Casante's resetting now. He's like, bro, guys, I have TP, bro. There's a full fucking Fury Casante. Poppy in the fucking pit. Hui walking next to the wall. And it's game over. This is game losing, guys. But Casante's like, bro, I had TP, bro, I had TP. It doesn't matter, dude. You needed to do that before. I think we got, once again, too caught up in, like, waiting for our perfect item spikes, which are important. So, the deal is, you look to fight when you have item spikes individually. In your matchup, you fight on your strong spikes. In the game, sometimes in team settings, you have to fight when you're down. And that's just the way it is. But here we are. Okay, bro does not know how Varus Q works. It's alright. Good flash. Here we are, Varus 6-1. How did they even die bot lane? Like, that's got to be crazy. Bro, Gonseal, dude, we have to. So what we can do here, if we're worried about this brush, what we can do is we can walk with the wave like this, and then from the top side of the wave, we can just ward the brush, right? We have to remember, don't think about the lane as like our side versus their side, right? We have to think of the lane as like a three-dimensional object. Like, it's not just 2D, us versus them. So we can use minion waves to split the lane vertically. Or I guess this is horizontally, right? But no, it is vertically. I'm trolling. This is horizontally. Right? So, like, if we're both on this side of the lane and Samira's up here, well, now Samira's basically bisected from Nautilus. And it doesn't matter. Like, what's Nautilus going to do? Hook us through a minion wave? He might R. And that's a different story. But I still think we're in a much better position if Nautilus has to R from max range and then find a way through the minions to hit a Q, By that time, I think Gonseal has time to R, has time to heal. Varus has time to retaliate. Whereas here, where we're just walking up in a place that we don't know if they has vision, we have 2 control wards and a sweeper available. Oh, he just blind hooks. What a Chad, dude. Samira's in another continent. This is just all Nautilus damage. That is so funny. Dies without using heal. That's tough. And unfortunately, Nautilus or Varus does just 1v2 here. Cool champ. What a beast. But then here we are. Oh, he ulted the wrong way. That's tough. So at this point, I would say the game's extremely, extremely hard to play. Renekton's at Bork. Varus is at Bork, but it just doesn't matter. We just fucked up our objectives too hard. Maybe we can look at some other fights here, but here, like, maybe we look at this fight. We're down 6k gold at this point. This is a game, by the way, where we might need some anti-healing. We have Poppy, who's going Sundered Sky, Renekton, who is Renekton, and Samira, who potentially goes, like... I don't know if she goes Bloodthirster anymore, if Shield Bow's fine, but that's a lot of healing. So here, some of us are thinking, like, okay, are we playing for the dragon here? If we're playing for the dragon, we've got bot push. We have to find a way to connect these guys to these guys. Because remember, Varus is the one with all of our kills. Hui has 1,300 gold. Hui needs to reset to get this item. We're not allowed to play this objective until Hui gets back on the map with the item. And then you have to ask yourself, how are we getting into the dragon pit? Our team is fine taking space. We have range, we have engage, we have range. The enemy likes to fight as well, so, I mean, I think both teams are fine showing up to the objective second. I'm okay with either one. But now we have to find a way to connect. So, in my opinion, what needs to happen is we just need to get a TP from Hui somewhere. Hui, you cannot be walking. Hui, you can... Okay, nice. Whoa. That is not where you fucking TP. Okay. So, places that are potentially good to TP are this wave right here. Because remember, we can think about the lane as more of a 3-dimensional space here. If we're going to fight and hold space, we can try and connect here. Sorry. Like, we could try and connect here. Like, Asante can move here. The rest of the team can move here. Wake can TP. And now all of a sudden, okay. Like, don't just think about this, the map as, like, our side versus their side. It's all dependent on where the enemy is at. If the enemy is here and here, well, now safety could be up here. So we can TP here, right behind our tank. Sejuani can create space. Potentially Janna can throw down another ward, like here or here. Doesn't matter. But what we don't want to do is we don't want flank Hui TPing into the enemy team here. But this might be an interesting thing. Oh, look, this is a ward. This is on our side of the map. It's safe. It's not safe. I would say this is infinitely safer. Or even potentially at this point, you can just walk. But holy shit, dude, you actually have AIDS. Wow, what disgusting damage. You have 2 items. You were able to burn basically your full combo there. We killed Renekton. We went Renekton for Hui. Good trade. Here we can take space. Uh-oh. We lost our Sejuani. Cassante? Okay, so now remember what I said. Samira is the problem in this fight. Lux, a little bit of a problem. Nautilus and Poppy are space makers. Lux and Samira are damage dealers. So we have to remember not to use our Janna Tornadoes on nothing, or to save, you know, something like Cassante W for Samira here. So here we are. Sejuani's back into the fight. There's Sejuani Q, by the way. There's Janna Tornado. And now We're in that exact situation that I was talking about, right? Remember that situation I was talking about where whose job is it to mark the Samira? Janna Tornado on the fight. Sejuani E here. Varus has no R. That's it. That's all the tools we have available. Somebody fucked up here. I'm not going to blame Janna or Sejuani specifically. It's a job of you as a team to decide who should mark who. And as I said before, it's easier if Sejuani uses Q to do that because Q cannot be wind-walled. It's like pretty much instantaneous, whereas Tornado, it can be dodged, it can be wind-walled, it can be moved. So now I would say the game is over. From this point, the game is over. The Samira, who is down 50 CS, who was down a significant amount of kills, you know, down almost 1,000 gold, should be down way more if she should not have 6 kills here. We fucked up a couple of ways. One, misunderstanding how our team wants to function. Hui, your job is to clear waves. So when the objective comes up, you need to be on the map with good mana, good HP, and your wave pushed so you can help Sejuani, even just by creating pressure mid through your wave clear, so Sejuani can take objectives. Bot lane, you did good pressuring early, but when you rotate to objectives, you can't rotate before you crash the wave, otherwise it defeats the purpose and they can move for free and punish you. Jungler, we need to make sure that when we're pathing a certain way, we're calling how far we are until we get there. Like if you're saying, hey, I want to reset into dragon, you let your team know, hey, look, I have 2 waves to prep bot before I can move to dragon. And also, you have to be actively looking to help your side laners, especially in losing matchups, not to gank them, but to provide pressure to break freezes, to cover dives, to bail them out so you can get K'Sante a good recall. Because I remember here, K'Sante died early. I think it was here. It was here. K'Sante, no TP, sure. And Sejuani's on the bot side of the map. Maybe there was a time. Maybe now is the time. K'Sante has 1,300 gold, ruby crystal. That's it. Maybe this is the time where Sejuani is 6. We desperately want, there's no play on the top side of the map. We need to bail out the K'Sante here. All you need to do is come use your W on the wave, get out of there. Renekton is not killing you unless you hard commit to a tower dive or an aggressive play. Create space, let your team breathe. And then also, top laner, you have a diligence to your team to know I lose this matchup until this item or until this level or until a combination of multiple things. So when you coin flip the matchup like this, when you're sitting here like, hey, I know I lose early, and it's still early because you're sitting on starting items. You have a ruby crystal and a Doran's shield. Granted, he's on a lot of gold too, but Renekton without gold is not the same thing as K'Sante without gold. So when you do something like this, you're trying to be the hero when your team doesn't need one. You've got a Varus who's 2 kills. Let the Varus work. Let him work. You take a bad back. You take a recall. You call your jungler top. Just one wave. Bail you out so you can get back in. And then now, okay, maybe when you have, full tabbies, now you can start looking for more aggressive trades. But you just fucked yourself and now made your lane that much harder to play. And then also bot lane support. We need to work on our vision a little bit more. You had a sick, disgusting play where you set your team up for success with like the flash Janna R out from under tower to kill and like the W for the slow and all that stuff. Super well played. But you also got yourself killed or fucked your team early game when you get chunked to basically 0 HP. I don't remember if it was... Oh, no, it wasn't early. It was, like, later. Oh, it was here. Like, remember, minion waves are your friend. You might think, hey, I'm safe underneath our tower. You're not safe until this next wave comes. Make sure we're staying more in line with Varus here. So that way, even if you are hooked, you're hooked under tower. And that way, Nautilus gets pulled closer, can potentially get a lot of damage returned. You pretty much just... almost die for free here. Your jungler's bot lane looking for a gank, and you fuck this up, essentially. If we're in this situation where Lux buys a support item level 1 and Samira is down 20 CS, never in my life should these guys be getting kills. You guys are just getting sloppy. But I'll say the good stuff is this comp is good. I like this team comp. And I thought for the most part we had some really good moments. Like these first 15 minutes of the game, I'm not going to say it's perfect because it's not, but it shows good promise. Just keep in mind that you're a team in these type of games. Find your job in the team, do the like an assessment of, okay, we have roles we need to fulfill. Who's our primary engage? All right. Who's our secondary engage? All right. Who's our AP damage threat? Who's our AD damage threat? What person on our team is going to deal with the threats on the enemy team? We can say, all right, Cassante, I'm assigning you to Renekton. Sejuani, I'm assigning you to Samira. Everyone else, you just hit who's in front of you, right? You do those things, you guys are going to end up destroying teams like these who fuck up this hard. These guys are not very good, and I have confidence in you guys. So that'll be it for this VOD review.